Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. Chapter 1. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. The first chapter of Carnegie's book explores the human habit of criticism, focusing on what criticism is, why we criticize others, how we criticize, and when. He argues that criticism is futile as it tends to go on the defensive when being criticized, leading to resentment and failure to correct wrong behaviors. Carnegie cites the story of murderer 2 Gun Crowley and Al Capone, who never considered themselves criminals or benefactors. He also cites B.F. Skinner's work, which showed that criticism does not create lasting changes in behavior and in most cases only causes resentment and distrust. This resentment causes demoralization among family members, employees, and friends while still failing to rectify a condemned situation. Carnegie provides examples of criticism's futility, such as the debate between Theodore Roosevelt and President Taft, the Teapot Dome oil scandal, and Abraham Lincoln, one of the most inspirational leaders in American history. He concludes that criticism is a futile act and does nothing to correct either the situation or the wrongdoer's behavior. Carnegie then brings Abraham Lincoln's life to life, highlighting his personal incident that taught him the art of dealing with people. He also cites W. Livingston Lyne's short story Father Forgets, which highlights the importance of understanding people's experiences and why they do what they do. From these examples, Carnegie takes inspiration in writing books and lectures for self-improvement. He believes that criticism is useless, and the resentment it produces only makes the situation worse rather than making it better. Chapter 2. The Big Secret of Dealing with People. In this chapter, Carnegie explores the secret of influencing people by giving them what they want. He believes that the only way to make people do anything is by giving them what they want, driven by 2 powerful forces, sexual urges and the desire to be great or the desire to be important. This desire has driven civilization to develop, inspired writers like Charles Dickens, and made the richest people amass wealth. However, this same desire can drive young boys and girls to a life of crime. Carnegie also shares the story of Charles Schwab, who was paid $3,000 a day to do his job because of his ability to deal with people. He also emphasizes the virtue of appreciation, which drives people to be more motivated at work or enthusiastic in their pursuits. Chapter 3. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. The chapter begins with an anecdote about fishing, where the fish would want what the fish would want, not the person's desires. Carnegie sets an example with children, arguing that if you don't want your children to smoke, it wouldn't be good if you just reprimand them for it. Instead, contrast smoking to what they really want, such as getting onto their favorite basketball team or winning a sports contest. Carnegie also discusses the story of Ralph Waldo Emerson and his son, who tried to bring a calf back to the barn, but the housemaid held her thumb for the calf to suck it instead of forcefully bringing it back. This story reinforces the fact that influencing individuals means giving them what they want. To learn the art of persuasion, Carnegie suggests asking yourself how you can make the other person want to do what you want them to do before you get what you also desire in return. He further discusses this point with examples in the form of letters from individuals whose attempts at persuasion seemed lacking.